Welcome back to the 4ForAll podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Hopefully, y'all are having a wonderful day. We're having a little bit of wine here. How you guys been?
Doing well. Thanks, Alex. How are you?
Not too shabby.
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad.
What about you, Mom? What you been up to?
I'm working.
Right now?
Right now.
At this very moment?
At this very moment.
Yeah, well,
Working on staying up.
I'm working on my little wine over here.
So
Your
you're not getting
solo
paid
cup
if
of
you're
wine.
working, so...
No, I'm not getting paid for that.
All right, well, so my mom has actually got a new job recently, and how's that been going?
It's going good.
Yeah? Not too shabby?
At least I feel respected and wanted.
Yeah?
Treated like a
Compared to the
human.
Huh?
Treated like a human.
Yeah,
Yep.
treated like a human being.
Nice.
Compared to my last job, I got stepped on.
You got stepped... Oh, so you got stepped on.
Never be a doormat, babe.
Yeah. No, it's
Never,
it's really
Yep.
nice. I like it. There's like 7 people that work there. Everyone wants to help you. They're awesome. I like it.
So is there really just like 7 people in total?
Yeah.
Really? That's all? You don't
It's-
have anybody? No maintenance workers? No nothing else?
No,
No?
No.
At all?
our boss does it all.
He does everything.
Yeah, he does.
he's
You'll
like,
see him over there.
Well, guys, I'm
One day he'll go in his overalls and he's like, "This is all I'm working on today, strictly."
he does the plumbing and everything.
Yeah, he's kind
Cool.
of funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not bad.
All right.
What about you, Gidmo?
I'm doing well, man. Just working away, dude. Getting into this, learning new stuff, RF, audio, trying to pick up, and because my trainer is about to retire.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been there like 150 years. So he's finally going to leave.
He's finally going to collect his pension.
Yeah. And they're all pick his brain, and I'm like, dude, it's dust.
How mean! It's dust.
It is. Like, he's forgotten more shit than I'll ever know. For real. That guy's like,
Yeah,
he's
sometimes
really,
it's-
really, really good at his job, but, it's hard to get information out of him.
Yep, sometimes it's just time to call it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to call it.
And how about you?
Bad. Me?
How's it
Don't
going
get
on
him
your
started.
job?
Not much. Why
Don't
do
get him
people have to
started.
text me right now? I swear, out of all times, people, nobody fucking hits me up at all. And then out of nowhere, we're doing the podcast, and everyone's like, "Hey, what's up? How's it
How
going?"
you doing?
Throw my phone on the floor. Fuck that thing. Yeah, I've just been working, dealing with old people, complaining about, pensions and things like that. You know how it goes. You don't know how it goes, but it sucks. Anyways, babe, how you been?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We probably should have came up with a subject before we started doing this.
Right?
You know what? But it's all good. It's all
We
good.
could come up with something.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
come up with something.
How's your job going?
Mine's good. We opened a new orthopedic clinic. Clinic. So we're ramping up. It's very, very busy. It's very overwhelming and stressful, but hey, we're hanging
Yeah.
in there.
Look at us
Doing our
peasants.
best.
Oh,
I know, working away.
Working away.
Moving on up.
But you know what though? It's good. We got a new house. Can't complain. You know what I mean? We've seen some less than favorable houses today. So could be worse.
Yeah.
Could always be worse, that's for sure. It's crazy. Like, I would have never thought in a million years that we would have a house like this, in all honesty.
Yeah.
It's not the nicest house in the world, but it's pretty nice.
It is very
It's
nice.
nice. I like it,
It
Whoa.
is a very nice.
My mom's about to...
She's cut off.
Fry
I
all
know,
of our
she's
stuff.
had
I know.
two sips of red Moscato, and she's already knocking
She's
shit
already,
over.
hey, how you doing?
I'll be rubbing up against your shoulder here in a little bit.
If you're on ecstasy.
I'll be like,
Right? Turn on the ceiling fan.
Turn on the ceiling fan.
I'm gonna go lay naked in the ceiling fan.
But in
terrible.
other events, so was that there was a robbery, right? Was that today? When was that?
like a
That wasn't
week
today,
ago.
right? When was that?
Like 3 days ago, I think.
I'm so far behind. None of us fucking know.
Yeah.
I saw it on Facebook.
Which
Somebody-
one are you talking about?
Was there
There's
multiple? I
There's
don't.
been several.
Yeah, has there? Oh, I don't know, man.
There was one that ended up being a car chase, though, right? That ended up
Yeah.
like going the wrong way on St. Francis or something like that. He had a gun on him
Oh,
and
no, this was
everything.
in Albuquerque.
No, there was one in Santa
No,
Fe
it was
too.
yeah, it was here in Santa
Was
Fe.
that the one that was at Wells Fargo, maybe?
think
Wales
so.
Fargo.
Wales. Wells Fargo.
Wales. I guess you're at the Fargo, so you might as well rob us.
That was the one on St. Michael's Drive, I think.
I don't know. I remember reading something that I think he robbed the bank at gunpoint and then took off on a high-speed chase with the popo.
Really?
Ended up on the wrong side of the road on St. Francis, and they finally caught him. And I think shots were fired. I don't know.
Shots were fired.
Is that not the right term?
No, it is. It's
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
because you know, like the term where, like when you talk shit about somebody, it's like shots fired.
Oh.
So I was just thinking in my head, it's
Nah,
like
taking a
the
shot at
cops,
her.
cops were chasing after him and
Nah.
shots were fired. He's like, you guys are
But she didn't even
pussies."
say cops. She's all popo.
She's all the
The
popo.
popo.
Did you say
The
popo?
I said the
Popo.
popo.
You said popo.
Got in
The
a
5-0.
high-speed chase with the popo.
With the popo. The 5-0.
The one that
just-
gets me is the two utility guys that had it out. You know, they'd been arguing and fighting amongst each other for
Oh,
like
yeah.
years. And
And
then
then
they
the
just
dude-
pull
The
over
parking
and start
meters.
beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Then one guy shoots the other guy. He's like,
Also,
I'm
you
like,
know, how do
when
you...
does a meter guy take
I
the
was
damn
just
gun
gonna
to
say.
work? You know, like,
Exactly. Also, how do you... I mean, I'm not saying nobody can just... You know, I'm not saying there's not a situation where two people can't just hate each other, but in that particular job, what are you doing at work to have so much animosity? You know what I mean? It's like they're poll workers.
yeah.
It's like, what do you go to work and like, hey, fuck you, I was gonna put a ticket there. You know? Like,
One
is,
time
you know
one
what I
was a
mean?
meter reader.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
thought one
And
guy
the
was a
other guy
meter
like
reader.
worked in the office or something.
really?
But
They
the
just
one-
always had beef.
Yeah, they've had beef
Just
for
forever.
a while.
And
yeah.
then finally
and
you
then the
just-
one guy's like, "That's it, man. I had enough." They pulled over. He starts whooping his ass. Got on top of him and started punching
gonna
the shit
say,
out of
I
him.
heard the dude
And then the
that-
guy on the bottom's like, "I can't fight." So he pulled out a gun and boom.
Yeah, that's what I
blasted
heard.
The
I
guy.
heard the-
And
I
was
heard it
like,
Like
was getting-
5 shots were fired.
I heard he was getting his ass. 5 shots were fired. He's all, your mom's a hoe. I banged your sister, and
and this will be the last damn time.
This will be the last damn time. The last one, he just kills him.
Yeah.
Well, the one that had the gun was the one that worked in the office.
He was the one getting his ass kicked.
He was
though.
getting, yeah.
Yeah, the other guy was on top of him, just pummeling his face right there by the railroad track.
Yeah, that's what I had heard. That like, you know, I had heard that the guy was getting his ass kicked, and then he just
pulled out
had
a
it.
gun, yeah.
Yep. And that's the thing, man. It's like, look, if you're getting your ass kicked, Ged was knocking shit over
I
here. He's
know,
getting
right?
into it. He's like,
I'm all like, "Come here."
come here. But you know, it's like, okay, you're getting your ass kicked. Take it and leave
Take
it.
it like a man.
Take it like a
Get
man. And
over
you know,
it,
it's
man.
like you don't win them
Have
all.
a
I hate to
purple
say
eye.
it.
Oh well.
Exactly.
It was
You know what I mean?
probably over a girl or something.
You know what?
Who knows? But
he's-
you know, it's like
If you're getting your ass kicked, you know, and you try to do that straight up, let's box it out kind of thing, take a cheap shot. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What
I
are you
mean,
going to
it's,
do?
you
You
know,
know?
yeah.
Raise the knee up into the huevos, man. Get it over with.
Well, and you know, it sucks because it's one of those situations like me and Becca were talking a couple days ago. It's like he does. I mean, I don't know the circumstances of the entirety of the case, but it's like he probably does have a self-defense case, which really sucks because he's a pussy, you know?
Right?
You know?
He's probably going to walk. Yeah, he's
exactly.
going to walk. He's
Because
gonna walk.
he has an argument. It's like, well, the dude was beating my ass and he could have potentially killed me, so I killed him, you know? And it's like, no, you got your ass kicked and you should have just fucking dealt with it and, you know, maybe.
And who takes a gun to work? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and it was concealed carry too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I had
Yeah.
heard. See, that's what's even more fucked up because it gives people like me, people who are like responsible gun owners, it just further adds to the pile of shit that, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, look and see. I mean, like this guy was you know, he knew right from wrong and he still did it. And it just perpetuates that argument against guns. You know what I mean? And it's like, I get there's going to be a lot of people who just don't like guns in general. That's just how it is. But it's like,
he
come
took
on,
that
man.
whole idea of his mom telling him, "You be a good boy,"
Yep.
and he never fought in school, so he didn't learn. So
Yeah.
when he did have to, he got his ass kicked,
Exactly.
and the guy was handing his ass to him.
Exactly.
And that's the way it went, and then all of a sudden he's just a big crybaby little wussy and pulled out a gun.
Crybaby bitch.
Do we know what's happening with the girl that faked her kidnapping and got those
Oh,
two?
she's good.
yeah.
She's facing
Oh, so-
2 open counts of first-degree murder.
We gotta,
Is
we gotta
she?
talk about that. So
She'll
that's
be
some
fine.
crazy. You want to
Yeah,
talk about some crazy
conspiracy
shit?
and-
So I don't have dates here, but I'm at work and then I see this whole situation kind of unfolding. So basically, for those of you who aren't from New Mexico, so this lady reports that she's there's a kidnapping report, and so the police.
Wait.
By,
it
like,
starts
gun
off in her
knife.
apartment
It starts
complex.
off in the apartment complex. Yeah.
She tells a neighbor before getting into a vehicle that she had stolen.
Exactly, and that's the
Right?
thing. So she stole the vehicle, but nobody was aware of this at the time.
So
that
she tells her neighbor that some guy is holding her at gunpoint and
At
for
knife.
him to call, or a knife point.
knife point. Yeah.
Knife point, right?
Yeah, a knife point for him to call the police. Knowing damn well this is a straight up lie. And it's not the first time she's done it. She did it in Grants,
Yep.
with another stolen vehicle.
Was she drinking or high?
No,
or?
I think
They haven't
well,
yet
she's
told them.
crazy.
she is a previous narcotic
User,
Yeah, she's a narcotic user. So
She's a damn meth head. Let's just
she
straight
is.
out say it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. I mean, and now so basically they lead this vehicle on a high speed chase on the wrong side of the highway. So, veering in and out of traffic, south and northbound lanes. Finally, it comes to an end. Police officer, I don't know if he ran into the truck or what.
It was the cop and
The
the,
cop at
truck.
the truck.
They
The
went
Cop in the
head in-
truck went
head
head on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so, I didn't see what kind of, I know it was a black truck, I didn't see what kind it was.
And she
but-
spun out.
And she spun out. Okay, I didn't know how she
Yeah,
got away kind
she
of
spun
scot-free.
out.
And there was another vehicle, but that person was unharmed.
Right.
But
The cop had shoved her from the back because there was rear damage to her car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but still, I mean,
Yeah.
then she still tries to hold that her story that the person that kidnapped her jumped out of the vehicle, ran off. So they had this
Yeah.
big thing about looking for
Exactly. What I want to know is
somebody.
where did they get this description from? Because apparently, if you read the reports, she gave the description, but also eyewitnesses. It
I
literally
heard
it says
eyewitnesses, too.
eyewitnesses gave a report
Like
of
a
a man wearing a
red
red jacket or something
hoodie.
with black pants or I don't know, something like that. But then if you go back, you kind of recant some of these things that happened. An officer signed an affidavit indicating that he never saw anything. He never saw another person. All he saw was her. And then he also signed an affidavit indicating that there was no way that there was somebody else in the vehicle. There just couldn't have been.
Well, they pulled her DNA and
Yeah.
her
It was, her prints
DNA
were
and her
everywhere.
prints all off the driver's side. There
Yep.
was nothing else in the vehicle
Yep,
that led to
exactly.
be. I mean, not even the passenger airbag went off.
Yeah. Well, then the
'cause
FBI
that's automatic. If somebody sits in that seat,
exactly.
that airbag's
triggers
armed.
it.
Yeah, and that's
So-
another thing they did. I forgot they pulled not the OnStar, but the
Yeah.
the ECU or, but they pulled that information from the vehicle and found that there was no secondary person in there.
Yeah.
And the FBI and local law enforcement conducted this huge investigation trying to find. They did a huge search looking for
Manhunt,
the
straight up
and
manhunt.
nothing. And if you look at the area, there's nowhere to hide. There's some palm tree or not palm trees, pinon trees, palm trees. What are we in fucking Florida?
Well, they went and they arrested some guy in Espanola for it.
Oh yeah, well they put a bolo out for him.
Yeah.
They didn't actually arrest him.
No, they did pick him up. The sheriff.
Well,
I thought they picked him up.
No,
They questioned him.
He actually
He was
went.
very-
He went into as far as from what I read, he went in. At least
On
I
his
think. I
own.
think he went in on his own
To
his
clear
own
his
accord.
name,
Yeah, to
yeah.
clear his name. They investigated and they had an
Yeah,
interrogation
but
with him. And,
man,
Yeah.
how bad do you
Well,
have to be, dude? For
Exactly.
Oh, it was this guy. You
Well,
know
and then
what I mean? Right off
even
the
worse,
top of your head.
Yeah, even worse. I think his social security number had leaked and all
It
this
was
other
on
shit.
the
yeah.
bolo
Oh, was it on
flyer.
the bolo?
that was not supposed to go to the public, and somebody
Yeah.
leaked it.
Well, and then somebody intercepted the
and put it all
Yeah.
over Facebook and the news and stuff like that. But I heard
Yeah.
that the cops went to his house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went
And
to
Maybe they
he
did.
was,
Maybe I
and
read-
he was super like cooperative and all
Oh,
the
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And cleared
Maybe
his
I thought
name.
maybe I thought I had read somewhere.
Yeah,
But
because
at
I
the
thought
end
the
of the day-
Espanola sheriff went
But I
straight
didn't
to
think
his
they. I
house.
was
Because
gonna say, I
they
didn't
even
think
had like
arrested him.
they even had camera footage of it
Oh,
from their
really?
like doorbell or something like that. But he had
What is
already
this, Maury? They're like the whole camera crew's there.
Right?
You know, they're
Yeah,
like,
dude.
tell him he's not the father.
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
wouldn't doubt it because those camera crews, man, they're like,
Well, it's just
Well,
it's
like a
jacked
Larry.
up because like it's like this guy.
Well, he already
had
had
his
people
name.
like going
Yeah,
after him.
people were like, "You're a piece of shit" and all this stuff, and he's like, "I had nothing to do with this. Literally nothing." There's a fucking
Yeah.
and then you come to find out, this fucking meth head gets 2 people killed. One, you know, a police officer,
And a
also a
retirement.
retired fireman,
Yeah,
Refired.
and
A refired.
a retired
retired
man.
fireman.
I heard
Did I say
refired.
refireman? Did I really?
He's a
Well, he's a
refireman.
refireman. You know, it's like when you're a retired fireman, you're a refireman.
Yeah, we got it.
But
you better take that juice away from him.
get this red Moscato away. But you know, and then on top of that, she slanders this guy's name. You know, complete defamation. And
No, that's the thing. She never came up
well,
with
I
it.
should say, but I mean, because I don't mean she directly did, but I mean
Well,
the
yeah.
events that she caused
Yeah.
led to that.
Yeah,
you know,
but
led to
that's
that
why
situation.
I'm saying how bad you have to be when
Yeah.
you're like the first name that pops into a cop's head.
Exactly.
Oh, well, this guy's done this before. Let's
Yep.
get him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
With no investigation whatsoever. Just roll up to his house.
Well, and it does make you wonder, like, what kind of
Dude, he's going to sue the balls out of him.
exactly. Yeah, and you know, what kind of mental situation does this person have to be in to cause this?
And
like-
that's the other thing is she's probably gonna get like instituted and that's
Exactly.
it.
Because I mean, if you think there's no logical person would pull some shit like that. Who's gonna be like, oh, and twice? She fucking did it twice.
And she ran from the police more than twice.
Yeah.
She did it in grants like 4 times with multiple stolen vehicles. It's like, why is this
crazy.
woman
On the
even out to
streets.
do this?
Exactly. It's like, what is the motive? There's got to
Yeah.
be some type of mental, or maybe it was, but I don't believe. I mean, I don't know if they investigated narcotics or not. Obviously, she has a history of narcotic abuse, but I don't know if it played a factor in this situation. I'm sure.
And
they,
how do they let her go?
yeah,
They let her go.
yeah, they let her go, and
At the scene.
Yep.
All right, you're good later. You know what I mean? Nobody escorted her to follow up or any. And then when they
Nothing
did,
at all.
They showed her on the news when they interviewed her in the hospital.
Yep.
She was still swearing up and down that this was the case.
yeah,
You know?
yep,
That
Maybe
she had
she's
this and this.
like
And
schizo
then
or
she
something.
bounced
Exactly.
with luggage packed in a vehicle to her
Yeah.
daughter's house.
Well, I think like I don't remember what news station it was, but they did an interview. You know, they did a full interview with her, and she's like, "No, I didn't." You know, it was a guy in a red shirt, and you know she like was going on this whole tangent about this bullshit. Just, and you know what's funny about this? Wouldn't it be some shit? And of course, I don't want to. This is just a hypothetical situation. I'm not trying to like shit on anybody
You're
because I
not
know that
judging?
too. Well, no, I'm just saying 2 people were dead here, so I'm not trying to crack a joke here or anything. But wouldn't
Yeah.
it be something if she was actually in the right this whole time and
The kidnapper got away.
Yeah, and local law enforcement just didn't want to
Pursue.
Yeah,
And they're like, "We're gonna pin
or,
on this
Yeah,
stupid-"
or they just literally, because they had no success with this case, they just decided to pin it on her.
Right?
No, but we are, that's not the case. Obviously, this chick is fucking nuts. It's
She
just
is absolutely nuts.
you gotta be a
And-
fucking nut job to
and
pull
we
some
feel
shit.
for the families. It's horrible what happened. I
is.
mean, that's straight up horrible. But it
Because
just goes.
that-
and
that-
at the same time, legislation is being shot down
yeah,
to stop the rotating door for the jails.
yeah,
You know, it's just a revolving courtroom thing because she had gotten off in grants for doing it multiple times. She shouldn't have even been on the street.
no, she shouldn't have. She
Yeah.
had,
I mean, and that's where it comes down to. It is like, yeah, she was in the wrong for doing this, and it's horrible that 2 people died and people got hurt. But at the same time, she should have never been on the street.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I
You
completely
know, because
agree.
they should have never let her out.
But I mean, look at I mean, I hate to say it, but look at all the repeat offenders that are out there constantly.
Oh, I'm telling you, if it was
especially
you and I
DUIs.
that got caught
Yep.
running from the police, any one of us running from the police, we'd still be locked up. Mm-hmm. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I mean, it's true. And it's sad because you see so many of these people just out, they pull the same shit again over and over and
They
over.
just get a slap on the wrist.
They
and,
get a slap on the wrist. And
I'm
they
going to
just,
let you go on your own cognizance or whatever you call
Own
it.
recognizance,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's,
You know.
Oh,
And then you hear on the news 2 days later, so-and-so got caught again.
Yeah, or went on a
Yep.
violent crime spree like this guy down south that went through Los Angeles, and he got out of jail. Oh well, I'm just gonna go and kidnap 2 women, held them at gunpoint, then shot 2 other people and killed them,
Goodness.
and then oh well, I'll just take my stolen vehicle and race down the highway at extreme speeds on both sides of the road.
God.
You know, and then when the cops do pull me over, I'm just going to shoot at them. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And it's like, come on, man. What video game did that guy play? You know what I mean? Because he was hooked.
Yep, exactly.
You know.
Crazy episode of Grand Theft Auto right there.
Yeah.
Real life Grand Theft
Nuts,
Auto.
man.
But I feel like that's what people are living nowadays. I hate to say it, but they have this psychological disconnect that there's just no consequences and they can
And
do
there's
whatever
not.
they want. Well,
That's the problem.
That's the thing. But even they don't even have a care for their own life.
Yeah,
You know,
they
it's
have
gone-
no conscience whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no, you know, you in the past you had serial killers, mass murderers, so on, but they didn't want to die themselves. You know,
Yeah.
they wanted to kill as many people as they could, and if they were gonna die, they wanted to, you know, at least take as many people with them. But now it's like people are just like they'll risk their damn life to steal a candy bar
For
at the gas
views.
station.
That's the
or
worst
for
part.
yeah, or for literally for social media
TikTok.
attention. I mean, it's crazy. Like we were watching a guy last night. We were watching a guy last night on a video, and this guy's just like, you know, throwing shit all over Subway. He worked at Subway. So this guy was a previous, I don't know if it was a felony or
It was
what
a felony.
He was a felon. So this guy was a felon. And I don't know exactly, I didn't look into his history to see exactly what what his charges were.
Theft and stuff like that.
Was it theft?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so Subway gave this guy a fucking shot. And they're like, you know, this guy's a felon, but they decided to give him an opportunity.
Watch time out. First, he started at CVS. Remember?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Sorry. Well, I guess we could talk about the CVS situation.
Because that was his
Yeah.
first job back.
Yeah, so
after.
first he started at CVS. I was just mentioning Subway because they gave him,
was
you know
the-
what I mean? But, so anyways, he first worked at CVS. So they gave him an opportunity. Then he goes to like, what was it, Rite Aid or I don't know.
Rite Aid, the
Yeah.
competition.
He goes to Rite Aid and starts just like puts his hand out on one of the shelves and just starts throwing all the shit
Running.
off the shelf. Just running along the shelf. Yeah. Throwing all the shit on the floor. And then, you know, I don't know if it was a couple weeks or how much later it was. Then he goes to CVS where he works. And then he just literally filming himself right in front of
An employee
like
or
an
management
employee
or
I
something.
don't know who she was, filming himself right in front of her, just take shit off the shelf and put it in his pocket. Just one after another, just taking things and putting them in his pocket, and he just walks right out the door.
And she's like, hey, you can't be doing that. And he's just like, I don't care about this place, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm going to take this too. And he's just walking out and she's just following him.
Yeah, and she's like, call 911, and you know what I mean? And he just walks down the street, and you know, and that could have been, maybe that was the felony. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal was.
Yeah,
there,
I got
but-
one for you guys, and it happened today. We went to Smith's earlier to do our grocery shopping, and I overhear the butcher, and one's a female, and the other guy's a guy, and they're talking back and forth, and he goes, do you know so-and-so? I won't say names, but do you know so-and-so? And she's like, yeah, and I'm there, you know, like waiting on my bacon, you know.
waiting on my bacon.
And she's like, yeah, I know her. And he goes, well, did you see she has a big old Band-Aid on her face? And and she's like, no, I didn't see her.
Nelly.
And she goes, well, she was stopping a homeless guy while she was walking him out the door because he was just wandering up and down the aisles throwing things on the ground.
Huh.
So you told him, hey, you got to go.
Yep.
So she's escorting him out of the Smiths, and as soon as they got outside, he turned around and just cold-cocked her, knocked her out cold, dude.
No.
Damn.
So the basket guy came up and just grabbed him, tackled him, and held him until the cops showed up. But
Damn.
yeah, just labeled her, man.
Our
knocked her out
Smiths
cold.
here?
Yeah.
That's
What is
Smiths
happening
right here
to
on Smiths,
Smith?
yeah.
I don't know. This
Our
place
dirty
is.
Smiths.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so after that, this guy gets a job at Subway. They give him an opportunity. He's there for a month, literally a month. And he just starts, he's like, you know what? I've had enough of this bullshit. And, he's going on a big old rant. And he just starts getting all the lettuce and everything, all the buns, and throwing them on the floor and stepping on them and just, destroying the whole.
making a mess.
He's the last one there. So I guess he's closing up. And he's the last one there. He's closing up, and Axel's automatic feeder is going off. But that's our dog, by the way. If I don't say that, somebody's gonna be like, "You feed your child through it."
Little guy under the
Yeah.
stairway.
We put sushi in there.
Don't make me have to come down there and kick your Cyclops ass.
That is so cool.
Seriously. But yeah, it's just fucked up, man.
Inbred Cyclops ass.
I think people are just going crazy now since COVID. They're
But
just
it's
They
just
like
it's-
forgot how to act.
They're
I think, the lack of sociability between people is just gone. So now
It is.
I think people are living in some,
fantasy world.
Bubble.
yeah, basically. I mean, and what fantasy is it? I don't have fantasies about wanting to go walk down the street and just randomly shoot people.
Yep.
I mean, that's what that guy did in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, he didn't have a police record. So that was the last you heard of it. Anybody else that had a record, they'd be like, oh, update on this story, blah, 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 blah,
Yep.
blah. But this guy, because he had no police record, he shot more people, though,
Yeah,
And
they
then-
push. They push. It's funny because when somebody does that, if they have a prior criminal history, they push it so heavy. It's like, yeah, he, he molested 6 children when he was younger, or he was,
why is he out? Why
yeah.
is he out? People like that, dude,
Yep.
what you do, we have a huge gator population in the southern part of the United States.
just feed him.
Just go and tie them to a damn stump, man.
Yep.
Tie them to a damn log.
Yeah.
Spread eagle and leave them for the gators.
Spread
dude.
eagle.
Leave 'em
Spread
for the
eagle.
gators,
Let
man.
him go for the junk.
Yeah, man. What the hell? Leave them for the gators, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy, but I mean, we
Find a
have.
tall tree and a short piece of rope and let them swing for a day.
Well, and it's crazy that there's.
And leave them up so everybody else can see. You do this shit, this is what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Seriously, well,
Rope ain't
and-
that damn expensive.
The whole thing, as far as the whole pedophilia situation, it's crazy that there's people trying to advocate for these sick fucks. You know what I mean? Have you seen that? Like, there's like they have like their own flag and all this shit.
I think I have seen that
what,
before.
for
For
pedophiles?
Yeah, for
pedophiles.
pedophiles. They're literally trying to like rehabilitate
they're-
rehabilitate them. And it's like they're fucking sick in the head. These people need to be fucking shot.
They're never
They don't
gonna
need to
go
be
out.
rehabilitated. You need to be fucking put down. That's what you need.
Right?
It's like,
it's just crazy.
yeah, it's like when a dog bites a child,
It gets put down.
guess what happens?
Yeah.
It's like, so
Put-
if you can't
yeah.
keep your fucking pecker in your pants around a 4-year-old, then you need to be put down.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you that.
Yeah. Some people should be drowned at birth.
Yep.
Straight up. Man.
Some people should have been swallowed.
Yeah. Down to the river. You know what I mean? I know.
gotta get more wine,
I know
though.
I was fucked up that
Get it.
night.
I know.
I know I was fucked up that
I was
night.
fucked up that night, but
And
Yeah,
it
you
was
gotta
just
do
one of
what you
those
gotta
nights
do.
where any dick will do.
That's bad. You're terrible. You're bad.
man, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you're trying to choose between
need to
like
be
Taco
real.
Bell, Sonic, McDonald's.
Yeah, people just need to be
my
real.
God.
Man.
Anything
Fuck the
will work.
bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
It's getting crazy.
But anyways,
You know
yeah,
what?
well,
Shout out to Ukraine. Kick some Putin ass, man.
yeah, they've been really
You
kicking
know what I
some ass
mean?
though. In all reality,
Yeah.
for considering the difference in power
Yeah.
difference in currency, the difference in population.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
a
they
country
are-
the size of Texas is fucking kicking ass.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Come over here and try and fuck with us, see what happens.
Yeah, I swear, you know.
Are you talking about
Well-
Ukraine?
Yeah,
the
Ukraine and Russia.
yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy is I saw this video from Putin earlier, and I don't know when this was, but it was at a press conference that he had stated. I think it was before this situation now, but he said something like, I think a reporter had asked him a question, and he said there's no doubt, and I'm not gonna. This isn't verbatim because I can't quote it, but he said something like. There's no doubt about it that NATO is a much more powerful force than Russia. He said, but Russia is one of the most powerful forces nuclear. And he says, if a situation came where it had to be where we had to revert to nuclear weapons, nobody's gonna see a benefit from it. In other words, we know we can't win.
But
But
make
it
your
won't matter
ass.
because the world will be over.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
There's
won't
nobody
matter.
going to be able to tell the story that
Exactly.
we lost. So.
Yep.
That's scary.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he
no,
looks like
he's
a
a
Hitler
nut.
too, though.
But he's a nut. Like, literally.
He's not all there.
I mean,
You know,
you got to look at the track record,
KGB?
though. Everybody that ran against him, like in elections,
they're all dead.
right?
Yep.
Or
yeah.
they were suffering from severe radiation poisoning because he was just poisoning them with radioactive materials in their food.
I mean, it's true. You look at the people anybody who would address him, they were scared to talk to him because they know they're, him and Kim Jong-un, both of those dudes, they're fucking nuts.
Oh, yeah. Well, now it's the son in North Korea.
Yep.
But the dad was straight
Kim
up.
Jong-il.
Yeah, he was straight
Well,
up.
I mean, he kidnapped.
I mean, literally, he would eat his enemies, dude.
that dude was
he would have them
fucking
cooked.
nuts.
He would have them cooked and chow on them.
Well, I think I don't remember if it was him or his. I think it was him. He had kidnapped like a screenwriter and his wife. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
He kidnapped a screenwriter and his wife and was literally forcing them to make movies for him personally. And somehow I don't remember how they got out of the situation. They did end up escaping, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. He literally he kidnapped people just to have them make
his own
movies for his ass.
entertainment.
Yeah, for his own entertainment. He's like,
That's funny.
make Papa movies.
Me Papa movie. And
Yeah,
not the
they're-
good ones. Just really action.
And I know,
Just pure action.
just pure action.
Korea beating
No.
North America.
I want subtitles. Oh man.
That's funny though. But
They
yeah,
had,
I mean, the whole
What
world
was
is
Arnold
going on.
Schwarzenegger saying last night?
Oh, he was pleading with the Russians because he's like a big star over there. Like he's kind of a demigod to the Russian and the Slavic world. And he was pleading with to stop the war in Ukraine because all these innocent people. It's not. I mean, a war is, your soldiers against our soldiers, and our military against your military. Not let's go shell the pregnant woman's hospital. You know what I mean?
a school and-
Hey, look, there's kids.
I mean, that's it. They're just blowing up.
It goes
whatever
all the
they-
way back to
like,
Full Metal Jacket, where they're like, okay, well, how
Yeah.
do you shoot innocent women and children? That's easy. You just don't lead them as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
crazy,
Well,
dude.
like I showed her this video the other day of a stray missile hitting a bus. Literally, just
a public
demolished.
transportation
Yeah,
bus.
just a bus. You just see there's this guy walking his damn dog down the street, and he just like looks up in the sky, and then all of a sudden you just see a missile hit a bus right in front of him, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
That's awful.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like we joke about it. We don't joke about it. It's not funny because I mean that could be us.
We
in the
make
future.
light of it
Yeah,
because it's
like at the
something
end of
that's
the day,
a rarity, right?
It's just what
It's
the
unreal.
fuck is going on? Yeah, it's unreal.
It's absolutely
yeah,
surreal.
everybody
yeah.
copes with it their own way. Don't judge me. I mean, if that were happening here, I think I'd still have the same reaction.
Yeah.
Unless I'm on the bus, then my last
Yeah.
reaction would be
right? Or
Ashes.
the one walking the dog. I'd be like, somebody needs to walk me because I just shit my pants.
Yeah, if I saw that in real life, though, like you just walking down the street and you just see
you're like,
a damn Uber driver get shot in the head. Of course, I mean, that
does happen.
I was like, that happens anyway, so
I'm like,
never mind.
That's kind
Never
of like
mind.
that's kind of like a real thing.
I take it back. But, if you see an Uber
When
driver
you see
get...
like an Uber driver taken
Yeah.
out by a guided missile.
I was
you know?
going to say, RPG, just... That's fucking Grand Theft Auto right there.
Right?
That's pretty.
But then you
scary,
got to
though.
check. That's a perspective thing. We're not used to like that total violence here. I mean, we have our own, but really like a guided missile. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just you don't see. I mean, it's just because it's civilians. Like civilians can't fight back. No, I mean, it's like even here in America, it's like okay, yeah, we have the most firepower of all countries. Virtually, just on my block alone, there's probably, I don't know, I would say a good 20 of these people, good 20 of these houses here have firearms.
Multiple firearms.
Exactly, yeah. But it's like at the end of the day, if my house gets hit by a goddamn 50 millimeter cannon, it's not gonna look good. It's like I'm not gonna run outside with my AR-15 ready to fight.
We were not shooting at the apartment complex. It just
yep.
got in the way of where we were trying to shoot.
Exactly.
It's
crazy.
like, for real.
I mean, it's just crazy.
They're just making up shit now. And then he had this big party, like had all these people in the stadium. They're all waving Russian flags,
Damn.
And he's having like a concert and stuff. And he gets up there and gives a speech.
Yep.
And I mean, this is just a couple of days ago, and they had just announced that he like totally like laid waste to one of the cities. They just became,
Jesus.
Lviv in the west, where it was kind of like a safe zone for the people trying to get out of the country. He just started bombing the shit out of it, the guided missiles from a ship in the Black Sea. So it's like, this guy's not
right.
Yeah,
like
it's not right.
It's like there's the difference is like and don't get me wrong, like America's not. Obviously, you look at World War II and we dropped 2 atomic bombs on tons of civilians.
Firebombing Japan.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
literally, we firebombed it.
Yeah,
the whole
it's like
place was made out of wood.
We're
like,
like
fuck that place.
we definitely, no doubt about it. We killed a lot of civilians.
Yeah,
but the thing is the war had to end somehow. I hate to say it, and this is a different situation. I feel like, and I won't say in World War II we didn't have any other, any other recourse. But I feel like if we didn't, if that wasn't done, then we probably would have been prolonging it, beyond the necessary.
Because the people that were fighting against had deep, almost religious beliefs that it was their duty to die for the emperor.
Yeah, it's like you look at Hirohito,
Hirohito,
Mussolini, and Hitler. They were not going to back down until they had no other choice.
Right, yeah.
And Hirohito was still viewed by his people as a...
No, we had to leave him in power. That was that was the only term that we met, was we'll leave him in power.
Exactly, but Mussolini, but
now Japan is just like an industrial power.
Sorry,
we're going
not
on topic.
Let's get back to something. We'll get back to
Okay,
something the
we're
girls
going-
can all
we're
talk
going
about.
off.
We're done with the war. We're done with that stuff. Let's.
Well,
we're
for sure
going
a
on
topic
about-
I can't pitch into. So
literally, if we had a camera here, we're going on about World War II, and these 2 women are literally like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We're all just let them talk.
I know, huh?
So, ladies. Okay. Yay.
Yay.
So,
Terrible.
Gimbo, there's some things I want to ask you guys about. The whole, I almost said skinwalker.
What?
The Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Yeah. So as far as Sasquatch, how did you become interested in Sasquatch, and what's your opinion on it?
Okay, my thing was when I was little, I used to watch a show, and I fell in love with this show. And this is going to show my age right now. It's called In Search of with Leonard Nimoy, right? Mr. Spock.
Oh,
He
yeah,
used to-
Spock, yeah.
Yeah, Spock
Yeah.
used to have his own show called In Search of. And they'd go looking for, like, the Loch Ness Monster. They would look
I've
in
heard of
search of UFOs, alien abductions, the paranormal, life after death. You know, so I was always kind of leaning towards that thing. And then they did, like, In Search of Bigfoot, right? AKA Sasquatch. So that kind of like started me off on my whole road to kind of being almost a fanatic about my Sasquatch stuff. I mean, I listen to Sasquatch about stuff like that every day. I just think it's kind of a very interesting subject. So for me, that's where it started, and I was maybe 8 to 10 years old, I guess. Yeah, roughly. So it's been a while. I've been doing it for...
Tell them how you can't sleep without.
Well, I can't sleep without noise. I'm a Marine, so dead silence kind of drives me nuts.
Speaking of, how you like the...
I love it, dude.
yeah.
I love my headband. The only thing is I wake up with a rectangle square on my forehead. But
Yeah, I love 'em.
shout out to the headband...
Headphones.
yeah,
the Bluetooth
headphones.
sleep mask.
Yeah, sleep mask.
Those are awesome.
Shout out to my Music Cozy. Right on. They're the best. I truly love them. But I need noise. So I combine my two things, right? I combine my Sasquatch stuff with my need to have noise while I'm sleeping.
Yep.
And not disturbing my significant other who's right here kind of giggling at me right now. But yeah, that's why. So I'll turn on my Sasquatch Chronicles, or some type of a Sasquatch story on YouTube, and fall asleep to that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, as far as what Margie thinks, I'm dead curious to know what's going on there.
Yeah.
I actually laugh at him.
Yeah, but what do you think about Sasquatch? Do you think like there's...
You know, I didn't really believe in it. I mean, I still don't. I'm still like, okay, maybe there is. But when we went to Chama, shortly after we came back from Chama, I think we were there like, what, a weekend?
Yeah.
We came back, and Billie Jean and Jeremy were going down the road like little ways.
They go out and they
They
view
go out for their-
wildlife out in the middle of nowhere.
She takes pictures
Yeah.
of.
Well, I know, like, because I was telling Becca that they have lots of bald eagles down there.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her if you go to Chama,
So
you'll
they
usually see
were-
one.
Or they were parked somewhere where they could see the whole field, and she got on her phone,
Video, yeah.
zoomed up,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just a big
Sasquatch looks out from behind the tree,
Uh-huh.
and then goes back behind the tree, and then just makes a run for it, and just takes off across this huge field, dude. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty
And
cool.
once-
I
Yeah,
wanted her to
ask her for that
share it,
video.
but
Once she started letting people know that, like here and there,
Yeah.
just close friends, she'd tell them that she got a picture of it.
more video.
Now, you don't think it's just a guy in a suit that goes from state to state in different forests?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. You imagine?
That's what we. Believe it or not, that's what I asked her. I said, "Are you sure it's not like just like a mountain man
hunter?
that just lives out there?"
a
or
man that
something?
lives out there. What do you
Well,
think,
you
babe?
never know. I mean,
Yeah.
but he did have all this fur, like
head to toe.
head to toe, big hands, like
Yeah.
huge. He was like huge.
And then Jeremy went back and stood by the tree, and where this thing sticks its head out was like 4.5 feet above where Jeremy's standing, and Jeremy's like 5'10".
I thought you say 4.5 feet tall. I was
Yeah.
like, that's a little ass. That's a baby Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And then when they went back to go search to see if they could get a footprint of some kind, it had rained that day.
Yeah, so they lost the evidence.
Like shortly after they
But they
saw-
said it stepped over a 4-ring barbed wire fence, which is probably 4.5 feet high, and it just stepped over it. Not like smashing the wire at all. Just
Walked right over it.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
So I was gonna say that when she let a couple of friends know that she had that video, then everybody started calling her. The newspaper, the
Oh,
and
wow.
she's like, no, I don't want.
Yeah, she got hounded to the point where
Yeah.
she just won't even show it.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
'cause they just.
Yeah.
But
they
you guys
just
saw
don't-
it though.
We saw.
Yeah, we
Yeah?
saw it. Yeah,
Huh.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to check it out.
I wanted to
know.
file. I was like, send it to me.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Be like, make me famous. No,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. She.
I'll
and
talk
it-
to the news.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's this
Well.
huge figure. I don't know if you want to call it a man or. I'm just
it
gonna say
walked like a man. It
I'm just
ran
gonna
like a
say-
man, but it
I'm just gonna
was
say
like,
figure
Yeah.
because, and you can literally see that it's got all fur, and its face is kind of,
Huh.
you know,
yeah, like their eyes and I did
Yeah.
it again. Their eyes, the nose, like their cheeks. Like it'd be like a man with long hair and a full beard,
Huh.
but
yeah,
you could see definitely the ridge on its head right above like the eyebrows. It just had a ridge and had a conical shaped head. I mean, you could
Huh.
see great detail on this thing, and it was like, I ain't never seen no shit like that in the woods. You
and
know what I
it
mean?
was running
I'm just
behind.
kinda-
It was running behind a tree, and then when she got the video, it
It
came.
just darted out
it
across
went
the-
around. It went around the tree and then out in the field.
Yeah,
That's how she got it.
yeah.
I'm just kind of curious how my ex-girlfriend got out of her house.
Dang.
But
Just kidding. What do you
Your
think, though,
wife's a
babe?
big butt.
What is
I
your take
mean-
on Sasquatch?
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Um,
It's like cucumber.
I just
but
want to say,
Sasquatch.
I just want to say this last thing that
You're
a
never
lot of
gonna let her
people-
get a word in.
a lot of people have spotted them
Uh-huh.
in different areas. You know, not just here
Yeah.
No.
or like in Chama.
Well,
I should say.
I think that there's things out there that I don't think humans will ever understand. Aliens, you know what I mean?
Definitely that,
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
it's
Female
we find
orgasm.
new, we find new creatures all the time. You know that science was like, oh no, that's been gone. The coelacanth was thought to be an extinct prehistoric animal,
Yeah.
and then they caught one off the coast of India.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, hey, what the heck? You know, the giant squid was supposed to be like some sea monster from way back.
Yeah, and then
And then the
there's-
oil rig starts to leak, and they got the camera down there to see what's going on, and something comes up and tries to eat the camera, and it's
Yep.
what? It's a giant squid, you know?
Yeah, sure enough, and
They're
then you
like,
see
what?
what's been causing all those scars on the
On the sperm
blue
whales,
whales and-
yeah.
yep, it's true.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, what do you think of Alex's hobby?
Well, what do you think? Real quick, what do you
Wait,
think of
yeah,
Sasquatch?
Sasquatch.
What do you think of Sasquatch? We need to get your opinion.
I'm sure it's out there. I mean, it's kind of like the ocean. Like we don't know what's out there, and the
Yeah.
woods is too much to have it all explored. So,
Woods
well, yeah, like the forest and the woods and the jungle and all the places. So
and all the places.
all the places that are
Y
unexplored.
todo.
I agree.
I've
I
never
agree.
like had interest in it or anything, but I don't doubt that there's not something out there that.
Yeah, that could be potentially lurking
Mm-hmm.
behind the moss and the trees.
I just wonder
Yep.
how do they live? What do they eat? What are
Deer.
Animal,
I mean,
deer,
Animals,
bear.
mice.
What if they're
everything.
vegetarians and they're literally no harm to humans whatsoever?
Right?
And they're like
The
literally,
gentle forest giants.
literally.
in some ways they're a little brave to come out like that one that Billie Jean took.
But I mean, shit, if
It-
you're
it wasn't-
8 feet tall, I mean, I don't think I'd be very scared either.
Dude, it was probably, I mean, I'm serious. It was probably 9.5, close to 10.
It's crazy.
Compared to what he was standing at the tree, and they filmed it. And
Yep.
if you look at where he's standing and where the head of the creature came out, it's like, holy shit, you know, that's kind of hard to say. Oh
crazy.
yeah, that's just some dude, and they're
Yep,
playing a prank
exactly.
or whatever. I don't know anybody that's like
I
almost
mean,
10 feet tall.
At first, when I saw it, I was like, it's probably a chimpanzee or something.
or it's probably
Aw.
somebody pulling a joke
Hmm.
on him or something. Yeah, nah.
You never know.
Chimpanzees in New Mexico.
Ape or whatever. But apes walk,
A little
hunchback.
bit more hunch.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, I mean,
with the four. And this guy was walking like,
And he was leaning over. He didn't stand completely straight up, and he was still
Yep.
that much taller than him. So, dude, it's a huge animal. I mean, you got to think that his leg was about the size of Jeremy. Was the
Jesus.
size of his leg.
Do you think it's an animal, or do you think it's a like
like a
a
lost-
human, like a
Like a lost human.
Yeah, or like a caveman type thing that
like a Neanderthal?
You know,
evolved
that's a
into
crazy-
something else,
Right. Yeah. I think
not human.
I think it's a humanoid type that branched off. Like, okay,
Yeah.
apes and men branched off millions of years ago,
Just,
and the
yeah,
ape
evolution.
became their own type of creature. But they've never found like a tweener. You know what I mean? They could say, okay, this is Neanderthal. Right? And Neanderthal is a lot like a human being, and the
Yeah.
fact that it walks upright. But if you compare skeleton to skeleton and their brain capacity compared to ours, it's just like a huge difference, right?
Yep.
Where Neanderthal actually had a larger brain than we do, right? But like the ancient prehistoric people that they call up, and they said, okay, well, their brain cavity is 450 centimeters, or millimeters, 450 centimeters of brain capacity and volume in their skull.
Yeah.
And ours is like 1,200. You know what I mean? So like somewhere about 3 million years ago, human beings just popped up with this huge brain and, started inventing everything and coming up with stuff. Knowledge that we've lost, right? That we go back and we look at these prehistoric buildings. They're made out of gigantic stones, things along those lines.
It's a
And
mystery.
we can't do that today.
Today.
With modern equipment. We can't do that.
Yeah, well, and there's so many things that we've seen just in museums and these
Yeah.
different areas that we still don't even know what they were used for.
Right.
We can't comprehend some of these tools that they used, and
Right.
it really is amazing, and we'll never know.
Well, I mean, they
maybe we
want to
will
say,
someday.
science is like, they have this whole laid out thing where this is the way it was and that's it. But the things that they can explain, they leave out of the books.
Yeah.
I went to Mexico City to do some work with the church, and I've been to Aztec pyramids. I've been to their ruins. They're 70-ton blocks. You know what I mean? That's 140,000 pound stone.
Yep.
One piece of granite. And then where did it come from? Oh, about 75 miles that way. And it's like,
How'd it
how the
get
hell
here?
did they get it here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But these are their tools. It's a stick with a rock on it. You're like, come on,
Yep.
man.
Yeah, there's gotta be.
What's the answer? Let's come up with something feasible. They moved it on logs.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. You put a 70-ton stone on a log,
Yep.
it's going to crush it. It's going to crush the log. It's not going to roll across it all nice and smooth. We can push
Yep.
it. Look, we're pushing. That's
Then
not
how'd you
going to
get
work.
it on the log?
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, I mean,
How did they
had to
cut
get
it
there
out of the
somehow.
mountainside with a stick and a rock?
yeah, it's true.
Come on, man. They
There's,
didn't.
some things are just
And
not.
how did they make 90-degree corners on it where everything fits together? And who taught them how to join stones with a metal band? Because they would carve bands into the top of the stones where they buttered them together. And then they would pour molten metal into that band so the rocks wouldn't shift.
Crazy.
We don't give them credit for what they did. Things that we can't do now.
Yeah.
You call up any construction mover in the world and tell them, hey, I got a 70-ton stone that I need moved 75 miles. They're going to look at you and go, yeah,
That's
good luck with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good luck with that, It's just there's so many things in our history that it's unknown. And then it's weird how you go back and there's 4 styles of prehistoric people, right? And yes, there was a humanoid type, there was a Neanderthal type, there was some branch that was found in like Slavic and the Russian type thing, Almasty type scenario, and then another type that were found in South America that were like midgets, right? Pygmy size.
Yeah.
Well, there's all 4 of these types are still caught up in the world today, but we call one of them Bigfoot. We call another one an Almasty from the Russian area. They call it Almasty. We have the others that are now living in the jungles like India and stuff like that. They call them orang pendek. It's like a orangutan man type man. And then
With no appendix.
They have like a pygmy style down in South America that are found to this day. And yes, those are all in the fossil record, but they won't acknowledge them, but they acknowledge ours. Okay, so all of that became us. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the stories you hear is pretty interesting.
Well, I just don't buy evolution at that point. I just don't buy it. You know, yes, I think some things adapt and their physical form will change based on their surroundings of environment, but I don't buy it. You know what I mean? Okay, what was a hummingbird before it was a hummingbird?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it started out that way. You know what I mean? That's it.
How about UFOs?
But UFOs are like a whole different thing, you know. There's more planets and stars in the universe than there are grains of sand in all of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to
the
think that we're
universe.
alone,
Yeah, and that's what baffles me is how many people think that there's not a possibility that something else can be out there. When you see how quickly the universe is expanding from what it initially was, it's amazing. How can somebody think that you look into the sky and unless you have a telescope, you literally can't see what star is shining at you unless you're, just well versed in astronomy or you know what I mean? But it's like most people can't look into the sky and even tell what they're looking at. They just see a shining little dot. So if you go further and further and further out into the galaxy, and to sit there and say that there's not a possibility that there's not something else out there is, to me, it's idiotic. It's not. There has to be something else out there. You can't tell me out of just the thousands of planets that we can see that there's not. Oh, I don't know if we have that many that we can see. Hundreds of planets at least that we can see. That there's not another life form out there somewhere.
right? Yeah.
Like one night.
I agree.
One night a couple of months ago, actually I think it's been longer than a couple of months ago, we went outside, sat outside, and I don't know if it was a drone that was just hanging there. Remember?
Oh, I've seen one over the Sandias by my work. Same thing. It's just a bright light.
or
We
a
saw
weather
4 of
balloon
them,
or something.
and it just sat there for a month.
Well, remember we
Usually
had that
a
one.
month and a half.
We had one out here. Was
Yeah.
it out here? Or was it? No, it was old
That
house.
was at the
It was
old house. It
yeah.
just sat
Yeah,
there.
it was
And it
around
just
that
sat
time
there.
frame. Yeah, it just sat there.
And it's just there for like a good 2 weeks. And
I
then all
told
of a
you
sudden
about it.
I mean,
We were in
yeah.
your backyard
you're the one that
barbecue.
saw it.
Yeah, I
You
was
were the
like,
one
check
who
it
saw
out.
it.
Look.
And we were like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
We don't know if they're watching us to see what,
They're laughing at us for
They're
sure.
like, these people are dumb as shit. They're like, "Look, we don't even have to kill them. They're killing each
They're
other.
killing
Look at them.
themselves.
Literally.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
just
it's like
wait till
they're
they
gonna-
kill
we'll just wait
themselves
till they
off,
kill
and
each-
then we'll
yeah.
It's
take
crazy.
over.
Until they're too weak,
But I
and
don't
then
know
we'll
if
just
it's a
come in and sell the
drone.
refrigerators.
or a weather balloon or
When the balloon would
Microwaves.
shift, a planet would track. I'm sorry, the Earth is rotating. Even if the planet stays there and it doesn't move, the Earth is still rotating. It's going to track across the sky. You're going to see it change. It's going to go down over the
gonna get more
horizon
wine.
eventually. And that's it. Hey, wine break. La,
Wine
la,
break.
la, 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 la.
We have to have a wine break song.
And now this moment from Becca.
No.
sharp break.
Short break.
No.
No yawning.
Yes. Yawning.
No yawning. Your eyes are totally red. What
I
have you
think
been
I'm okay
smoking?
for right now. Since when do you drink?
Just kidding.
Since when do you drink?
Gotta go.
Okay, see you guys.
I think we need to feed the cat. No. Have you heard that stupid commercial, dude?
What's that?
Have you heard that stupid commercial?
No.
No? Where they're like talking about it's a condom commercial,
Oh no.
and they're like, well, what if you used code words? for when you wanted to
Such
do
bad
it. And you're at
accusations
your
for work.
friend's house, we're at a
They're so
party,
comfortable.
and they want you to stick around. And your girl leans over and says, "Hey, we have to go and feed the cat."
Oh my god.
He's like, "Definitely, yeah, we gotta go feed the cat."
we
you know
gotta
what I
go
mean?
feed the cat.
Yeah, how about
I'm gonna go
honey
feed your
mustard?
cat.
I actually gotta go feed the dogs.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Yeah.
My puppies.
Now you're
my
using
puppies.
the codes.
The codes.
Right.
But
My poor little puppies.
That was our stance on Sasquatch. Maybe next week we'll talk about another cryptid
what
or
do you
paranormal.
like to listen to?
Or, I mean,
what do I like to listen to?
Everything.
Oh, you mean as far as just like I thought you meant music wise.
No,
I
like,
was like-
he likes Sasquatch and
I usually watch just like shit that's going on in the world, like particularly like social media related stuff, because I think people are just idiotic. So I love watching like things that are related to comedy. You know, I don't know. I watch all kinds of different shit. Because it's amazing how stupid people are. Just the way that the shit that they do for attention
Right.
and for money. I mean, it's like they'll do anything now for monetary
well,
gain.
not even just for monetary gain, just for likes.
Just for likes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Just
like they
for
don't
a
care
like
if they,
on
even if they don't
TikTok.
make money. And
that
that's where
person will straight
Well,
up strip and
exactly,
do
and that's
things
where
with
this
fruit
whole,
that you never thought
like-
possible.
well, me and her have had so many discussions on, you know, when I was younger, not all of them, but most women somewhat respected themselves.
Like
you
it was
know?
a bad thing to be.
Yeah, if you
a
were kind
hoe.
of if you
Yeah.
were kind of hoish, you know what I mean. If you were kind of
It was rare and in
scantily
between.
clad, you were kind of
Oh no,
classified as
it
you know,
embraced the hoe.
yeah, and now
yeah,
it's like shit. If you
totally
don't have an
embraced it.
OnlyFans, then I guess
Yeah.
you're nobody.
Yeah.
Now it's
exactly.
like you have to be showing half a titty, otherwise, you know what I mean. You
You
ain't gonna
be
make you ain't
watched.
gonna make this
You
month's
ain't gonna
rent.
hit likes. Yeah. You're just not gonna happen.
I mean, it's crazy though. It really is sad. It's sad where we've come, where it's just like people have no self-respect anymore whatsoever, and they're doing anything for money, and
and morals
it's,
were a thing of the past.
yeah. But it's like I told her, you know, the funniest thing to me is how so many of these women constantly say that that men shouldn't sexualize specific types of clothing, or they shouldn't sexualize women, or whatever the case is. Like, and don't get me wrong, I understand where they're coming from to a certain degree, where you shouldn't sexualize a person based off of specific actions, and you know. But it's like to say that that men shouldn't sexualize clothing or specific things. Look, if you're wearing a fucking thong,
Sticking out your jeans.
yeah, you have a piece of floss up your ass. How is that not sexualized? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what's so funny to me though is that these women say this stuff. They say don't sexualize this, don't sexualize that, yada yada yada. They're a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are the same ones that are making money on OnlyFans, selling pictures of themselves and videos wearing that shit. So
And
it's
not
like,
only that, they're the ones, you know, a good percentage of them
Uh-huh.
are the designers
of that
of
clothing,
that material
of
or
that
those
lingerie or
clothing.
whatever
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
That's and it's so
And it's
funny.
like, hey, you know, yeah.
It's just funny because it's like you don't want men to sexualize this, but if they didn't sexualize this, you would be broke.
Broke.
You would
Right,
have no
yeah.
fucking money because you're making money
Yeah.
off of these fucking, you know,
Let's
these simps.
face it, sex and liquor sell. It sells.
Yep.
It sells. If you combine the two, guess what? Your sales are going to go exponential.
Yep.
You know why? Because they're going to correlate. Okay, if I drink this beer, I'm going to get that girl wearing Daisy Duke shorts to come over and drink this beer with me.
Yep.
Right? It's not realistic.
Yeah, and it's because I hate to say it, there's a lot of men who are just willing to shell out money because they're so desperate. They're just
Quiet
so,
desperation amongst men.
It is.
It's
There's
quiet
a lot of
desperation.
men, and I feel bad for some of these men because a lot of them they've never had any type of female interaction whatsoever. They literally
Yeah.
they go to work, they come home, they live at home with their mom,
Right.
and they don't know what a woman even is.
Or even
they
if
just
when
know it
they-
has boobs and it walks on two legs.
Or if it
you know?
says hello to them, even just
Yeah.
in a casual walking by type scenario. Like, I remember when you would see somebody or you would talk to somebody, you know, in a just random, you know, you're at the store and you walk by and you smile at somebody. Why it was a normal reaction. You find that person attractive or you saw them looking at you or something like that and you just smiled.
Yep.
And they, in return, usually would smile or not.
Yep.
Right? Now, it's like, no way. You're not going to make eye contact with that person because they're going to take it like 15 steps beyond this in their own fantasy world inside their head. And you're going to end up with a stalker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be boiling the rabbit, dude. That's
You're
the way
going to
it
be
goes.
boiling rabbit. Yeah, it's true.
I
It's
mean,
crazy.
that's how it goes. You okay?
It's cold in here.
Aww.
It's not cold in here.
Becca's not cold. It's not cold in here.
I have a
Becca's
sweater on though.
always cold.
I have a sweater on and I'm
Is it dry?
3
Yeah.
drinks in.
Huh.
I was going to let him
Finally.
All right, guys. Well,
Well,
we're doing well, I guess. Hey, what time is it? How long have we been doing this?
I don't even know because I accidentally have it set to bars rather than minutes, but I think we're probably coming close to an hour, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we're out to call this show, man.
Yeah, we could call it right now. I think
Yeah.
that sounds good.
We hope you guys enjoyed it.
We hope you go fuck yourself. No, just
Yeah. Yeah.
Yourself, not selves. Just one of you. The rest of you can. The rest of you could go fuck someone else. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Preferably.
Alrighty then.
I'm just kidding. I hope you guys have a great day, wonderful
Just remember,
life. And
not any
if we
dick
never
will
see
do.
you again, it's probably because we got killed by Russia.
All right.
Have a good evening.
Take
Yeah. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sleep good.
Toodles, strudels.